There's a moment many of us never forget. The day climbing stairs suddenly felt like a mountain. You pause halfway, heart pounding, legs trembling, wondering when something so simple became so difficult. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I've heard this story countless times, and maybe you've lived it yourself. That first sign of struggle, it isn't just fatigue, it's a message. Your body is trying to tell you something. But here's the good news. Leg weakness after 50 isn't your destiny. It's a warning light and a call to action. As a retired physician, I've seen how quickly things can change when you take that warning seriously. And in this video, I'm going to walk with you, step by step, through the real reasons your legs may be getting weaker, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting today. So let's begin, not with fear, but with curiosity and a little hope. You're stronger than you think, and it all starts with understanding what's happening beneath the surface. Sarcopenia, the silent thief of muscle. Let me take you back to a little-known truth I wish more people over 50 understood. Your muscles don't just vanish overnight, they're quietly stolen. The thief? Sarcopenia. It begins subtly, often in your 30s, but after 60, it accelerates like a downhill slide. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It creeps in silently, making it harder to rise from a chair, slowing your reflexes, increasing your chances of falling. You might think you're just getting older, but really, your muscles are shrinking and your body is losing its power reserve. And here's something most folks don't realize. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using the protein we eat. That's why older adults actually need more protein than younger people, just to maintain the same level of muscle. It's not about bodybuilding, it's about staying on your feet. From my decades of experience, I can tell you, nothing preserves independence like muscle strength. That's why resistance training becomes your best friend after 50. And no, you don't need a gym membership. A simple set of resistance bands or light hand weights, used regularly at home, can spark muscle regrowth. Think bicep curls, leg lifts, or squats while holding onto a chair. The goal isn't to break a sweat, it's to challenge your muscles just enough to tell your body, hey, I still need this strength. And your body will listen. I've seen seniors in their 70s and 80s regain balance, energy, and confidence, all by adding a few minutes of resistance work a day. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin. Nerve troubles, the sneaky culprit. Sometimes, the weakness you feel in your legs isn't coming from your muscles at all, it's coming from your nerves. Peripheral neuropathy. Now there's a term you might not hear often, but it affects millions of older adults, especially those living with diabetes or a vitamin B12 deficiency. I've seen it show up in small ways at first, a little numbness in the toes, a strange tingling, maybe even a mild burning sensation. Then one day, the legs just don't feel steady anymore. If you've experienced pain, weakness, or a pins and needles feeling in your feet or legs, your nerves may be crying out for help. And here's the tricky part. Nerve damage doesn't heal overnight. But catch it early and there's real hope. In cases related to diabetes, persistently high blood sugar can damage those delicate nerve fibers over time, especially in the legs. That's why managing your blood sugar, through diet, medication, and movement, isn't just about avoiding complications, it's about protecting your ability to walk, balance, and feel. Another common culprit is a deficiency in vitamin B12, something I check regularly in my older patients. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food decreases, especially if we take antacids or follow restrictive diets. But the solution is refreshingly simple. Eggs, meats, and fortified cereals can help replenish your stores. And if diet alone isn't enough, your doctor can recommend a supplement or even an injection. I always tell my patients, don't wait until your feet go completely numb. If you're over 60, it's smart to ask your doctor for a routine B12 blood test. Because when caught early, neuropathy isn't a sentence, it's a signal. One that gives you time to act, adjust, and take back control over your legs and your life. Blocked arteries, when blood can't flow. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, even by many doctors. If you've ever felt a deep, aching pain or heaviness in your legs while walking, only for it to fade when you stop to rest, there's a good chance you're dealing with peripheral artery disease or PAD. This condition is more common than you think, especially in folks over 60. And here's what's happening. The arteries that carry blood to your legs start to narrow, often due to a buildup of plaque. It's like trying to water your garden through a clogged hose. The muscles just don't get what they need. Without enough oxygen-rich blood, walking becomes difficult, sometimes even painful. But here's the part that surprises most people. Mild pain while walking isn't a reason to stop moving. It's actually part of the solution. In fact, structured walking programs are one of the most effective treatments for PAD. When you push yourself just past that point of discomfort, you signal your body to build new pathways for blood flow. Over time it gets easier. Your legs get stronger. And your distance improves. But that's only part of the picture. If you smoke, stop. Right now. Smoking chokes your arteries even further, accelerating pad and making every step harder. Managing blood pressure and cholesterol through healthy eating, movement, and if needed, medication is also crucial. I've seen remarkable turnarounds in patients who commit to these changes. Remember, pad isn't just a circulation problem, it's a wake-up call. A chance to step forward, literally, and reclaim the freedom your legs were built for. Vitamin D, the overlooked muscle fuel. There's a quiet power behind strong legs that most people never think about, and that's vitamin D. We often link it to bone health, sure, but few realize just how essential it is for muscle strength and balance. Without enough of it, your muscles weaken from the inside out, making you more likely to stumble, struggle with stairs, or suffer a dangerous fall. I've seen patients who were otherwise active lose their confidence. All because this one nutrient was missing. Here's the truth. After 60, your body doesn't produce vitamin D from sunlight the way it used to. Your skin thins, your kidneys slow down, and even a sunny afternoon stroll may not be enough. But the fix is simple and powerful. Start with gentle morning sunlight. Just 10 to 15 minutes a few times a week can help. Add in vitamin D-rich foods like salmon, tuna, egg yolks, and fortified milk or orange juice. And don't forget about supplements. They're often necessary, especially if you don't get out much or if your diet is limited. But, and this is important, don't guess. I always encourage older adults to ask their doctor for a simple blood test. It can tell you exactly where your levels stand and whether a supplement is right for you. Because with the right balance, vitamin D doesn't just support your bones, it energizes your muscles, helps you stay steady on your feet, and keeps you moving through life with strength and confidence. The sedentary trap, use it or lose it. Let me tell you something I've seen too many times to count. Someone stops moving thinking they're just taking it easy, and within months their legs lose the strength they once took for granted. It's the hidden cost of a sedentary lifestyle, and it hits harder after 60. Here's the hard truth. When you sit too long, your muscles start to shut down. As I always tell my patients, sit too long, and your muscles fall asleep, and they may not wake back up. The less you move, the more your body forgets how. Muscles shrink, joints stiffen, and balance fades. But there's a silver lining. This trap is 100% reversible. You don't need to train like an athlete. You just need to move, gently and often. Walking is one of the best medicines I know. It engages your legs, pumps blood through your body, and lifts your mood. Swimming is even better for those with joint pain, giving your muscles a full workout without pressure. And for those looking to build strength and calm the mind, Tai Chi is a beautiful practice. I've had patients in their 80s who've never stepped into a gym, but who regained strength, energy, and stability just by committing to 15 minutes of movement each day. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Start small. A walk to the mailbox. A stroll around the block. A few stretches during commercials. Because when it comes to your legs, the old saying rings true. Use it or lose it. Osteoarthritis, joint pain weakens legs. Now let's talk about a condition that quietly chips away at leg strength, one achy joint at a time. Osteoarthritis. It's not just wear and tear, it's the slow erosion of cartilage, the soft tissue that cushions your joints. Over time, that padding thins, bones begin to rub, joints swell, and movement becomes painful. The knees and hips, your body's main support beams, are usually hit the hardest. And here's the vicious cycle. Pain makes you avoid movement, but the less you move, the weaker your muscles become, and the weaker they get, the more stress lands on the joints. I've seen this spiral in so many patients, and I've seen the way out too. The key. Gentle, targeted movement. Water-based exercises are a godsend for people with arthritis. Whether it's swimming or water aerobics, the buoyancy takes pressure off your joints while still engaging your muscles. Stationary biking is another great option. It keeps the knees in motion without impact. And don't underestimate strength training. When done carefully, exercises like chair squats, leg lifts, or resistance band work can strengthen the muscles surrounding the knees and hips, giving your joints the support they desperately need. The more stable the joint, the less pain you'll feel. I always remind my patients, resting too much out of fear of pain will only invite more weakness. Movement, safe, regular movement, isn't the enemy of arthritis, it's the remedy. Myopathy from medications, hidden in your pill box. Sometimes the cause of your leg weakness isn't age, or arthritis, or lack of exercise. It's sitting quietly in your medicine cabinet. As a doctor, I've seen this too many times. Patients come in worried about new muscle pain or weakness, only to discover that the culprit is a common medication. One of the most frequent offenders? Statins, the cholesterol-lowering drugs prescribed to millions. They save lives, no doubt, but in some people they can also lead to muscle inflammation or breakdown, a condition we call statin-induced myopathy. It often starts with soreness, fatigue, or a heavy feeling in the legs, and if ignored, it can make even short walks feel exhausting. Other medications like corticosteroids and certain cancer treatments can have similar effects, gradually weakening muscle tissue over time. That's why it's so important to stay alert. If you notice new or worsening leg weakness after starting a medication, don't brush it off. Bring it up with your doctor. A simple conversation can lead to big changes. In many cases, adjusting the dose, or switching to a different drug entirely, can ease the symptoms without compromising your treatment. The goal isn't to stop essential medications, but to find the balance between managing your condition and preserving your strength. I always tell my older patients, your medications should support your health, not sabotage it. So review them regularly, ask questions, and never accept new weakness as just part of getting older. Sometimes it's your body asking for a better plan.
Osteoporosis and falls, a vicious cycle. There's a cycle I've seen over and over again in my years of practice, and it's one that robs too many seniors of their independence. It begins with osteoporosis, the silent thinning of bones. You may not feel it happening, but your bones grow brittle, like dry twigs, until one small fall leads to a fracture. And that fracture leads to bed rest. And that rest? It triggers muscle loss. Fast. Before long, the legs grow weaker, balance worsens, and the next fall comes even easier. That's the vicious cycle of bone loss and muscle decline, and it doesn't stop until we step in and break it. The first step is strengthening bones from within. That means getting enough calcium and vitamin D each day. Dairy products, leafy greens, fortified cereals, and canned salmon with bones. These are simple, powerful choices. For vitamin D, combine food with regular sun exposure or supplements if needed. But nutrition alone isn't enough. Bones respond to weight-bearing exercises, activities that gently load the skeleton, like walking, dancing, or stair climbing. These movements send a message to your body, keep the bones strong, we're still using them. And here's something I recommend to all patients over 60, get a bone density scan. It's quick, painless, and can reveal hidden bone loss before a break occurs. With early detection, you and your doctor can create a plan, whether it's lifestyle change, medication, or both, to protect your bones and preserve your strength. Remember, it's not just about avoiding fractures, it's about staying on your feet and living fully. Obesity plus sarcopenia, a double burden? Now let's talk about one of the most challenging and misunderstood threats to leg strength in older adults, sarcopenic obesity. It's a condition where two problems collide, excess fat and low muscle mass. On the outside, a person may appear heavy, but inside, the muscle that once powered every step is shrinking. I call it the hidden double burden. Fat adds pressure to your joints, while weakened muscles can't carry the load. Walking becomes harder, stairs feel steeper, and before long, the fear of falling keeps you sitting more and moving less. The more you avoid movement, the more strength you lose. It's a cycle that feeds itself. But there's a way out, and it starts with a balanced reset. First, the diet. Focus on meals rich in lean protein, like eggs, fish, legumes, and skinless chicken, to help rebuild lost muscle. At the same time, cut back on processed carbs and saturated fats that add weight but offer no support to your muscles. Next, movement, yes, even if it feels tough at first. Start with cardio that's gentle on the joints, walking, swimming, or cycling. These activities help burn fat, boost circulation, and get the heart pumping. Then, layer in light strength training. Resistance bands, bodyweight squats, even standing leg lifts at the kitchen counter. These aren't about bulking up, they're about rebuilding the muscle that supports your frame. I've seen patients turn their energy around in just a few months with this simple, steady routine. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start, one meal, one walk, one step at a time. Stroke. When the brain silences the legs, there's perhaps no moment more life-changing than a stroke. 1 minute, everything feels normal. The next, your body no longer responds the way it used to. For many seniors, a stroke doesn't just affect speech or memory, it strikes the legs. Suddenly, walking becomes a struggle. Balance disappears. One side of the body may feel heavy or limp. It's not just weakness, it's disconnection. The brain signals can't reach the muscles. and it's terrifying. But here's what I've told every patient recovering from a stroke. Healing is possible. The road back may be slow, but every step counts. Physical therapy is at the heart of that journey. Therapists retrain your legs, helping you rebuild strength, coordination, and confidence. Gait training, balance exercises, and even using walking aids can restore a sense of control. I've seen patients go from barely standing to dancing at their granddaughter's wedding because they didn't give up. But prevention, as always, is even better than recovery. Controlling high blood pressure is absolutely essential. It's the #1 risk factor for stroke. That means regular monitoring, taking prescribed medications, and eating with intention. Cut back on sodium. Fill your plate with fruits, vegetables, and heart-healthy fats. And if you smoke, quitting is one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make. The brain and the legs work as a team. When one is hurt, the other suffers. But with care, awareness, and action, you can protect both and keep walking forward with purpose. Conclusion: it's never too late. So, after everything we've explored today, here's the truth I want you to carry with you. Weak legs are not a life sentence. They're a signal, a reminder that your body is asking for attention, not surrender. Whether it's sarcopenia stealing your strength, nerves misfiring, or joints aching with every step, the message is the same. Now is the time to care for the body that's carried you this far. And the good news? It's never too late. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with one small habit. Maybe it's a short walk after lunch, adding an egg to your breakfast, or asking your doctor to check your vitamin D. Choose one thing from this video and begin today. That first step could change everything. And speaking of doctors, don't hesitate to bring these topics into your next checkup. Ask questions. Share what you're experiencing. Your care should fit you, your body, your life, your goals. Because when it comes to staying strong and independent after 60, knowledge is your power, but action is your freedom. So take that first step. Your legs and your future are worth it. Outro: stay strong, stay independent. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You deserve strong legs, not just to survive, but to thrive. To travel, to dance, to chase after grandkids, or simply to rise from your chair with confidence. You deserve to move through life on your own terms, with energy, balance, and pride. So let today be your turning point. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you faced any of the challenges we talked about today? What small step are you taking towards stronger legs? Share your story in the comments below. You never know who you might inspire. And if this video helped you, give it a like, and consider subscribing to Wellness Simplified. This channel is your space for clear, compassionate health advice, built just for you. We've got more empowering videos coming to help you age with strength, clarity, and joy. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay independent.